some valuable products. Yeah, here you see these two themes. One is vaccination, means antibodies, external antibodies we are inject the human body. Is it subcutaneous or intramuscular, intravenous? The several ways. And oral polio vaccine, you know the oral polio vaccine, and diphtheria, measles, DPT, pertussis, and whooping cough. There are several. Before this 6 killers diseases, now it is lot of hepatitis B, hepatitis A, and hepatitis B, the measles, mumps, the tetanus. All these are total 9 vaccines is in infant days, and booster doses also every each and every 1.5 year and 9 months is according to yeah, it's design wise. Design means prescribed, the doctor prescription wise. It goes on, of course. The external vaccination through our antibodies increases, and acquired immunity increases. One is natural immunity, and another one is acquired immunity. Our immunity system can develop. Okay, next, this is the picture images of our entire the photosynthesis, green and leaf containing of the chlorophyll in presence of sunlight, carbon dioxide, and the water from the earth source. It is passed on through the tip of the branch containing of the end of the leaf. Also, it procures the water through its flows through xylem and phloem. And now next, outer atmospheric conditions containing of the carbon dioxide, and through sunlight, the photons of energy, it combines. Then this chlorophyll is activate, it converts as in they made up of their own food. Those are called as autotrophs. That particular food is in the form of the carbohydrates, it's majorly, and oxygen is its releases. For the photosynthesis, carbon dioxide is consumes, oxygen is releases. This is the fundamental, you know well. And for respiration in the night time, the plants is also requires oxygen. Yeah, of course. This is the one of the biological themes we know. Then why do we need to study the life science? Why life science is important for engineers? What is the role of engineers in biology or in a life science? In what way the engineering is strengthened towards the fundamentals wise and applications wise? But the motto of this particular syllabus for higher authorities, all UGC's higher authorities, UGC, universities higher authorities, UGC, and technology institutes, AICT. These both are is combinedly identified to this one of the elective subject. Yeah, the past era and present era. In the past era, yeah, it's a lot of fundamentals of physical sciences, of physics, chemistry, material science, and mathematics wise, and all whatnot, everything, and the botany, zoology, the biotechnology. Yeah, of course, the biotechnology is one of the connectivity to engineering and bio. Yeah, in all these are, there's a lot of the fundamental research goes on, but nowadays it's interdisciplinary research, the interdisciplinary thoughts, interdisciplinary applications, it's needful, both biology and engineering in this new era, in this new century. Similarly, this particular phenomenon is expected to lead the probably another revolution. Is lot of biochips, bioactive substances Technologically, it implements. Yeah, engineers is or expected to contribute to the biological aspects to feel the revolution. Whatever the revolutionary or developed one of this particular subject is mimic to the biological fundamentals. Yeah, then only the good marketable products at a competitive price from the country to country nowadays, the Korea, Japan, and China, and all these are the people is a lot of ways, much more, a lot of the world market, all the countries they are encroached in all aspects point of view, biological applications and all technical applications. Yeah, you see it's in the name, the old era is and new era is, for example, in our communication system, 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G, 6G also. Yeah, these all generations of communication systems is develops. Yeah, why? Because these concepts is needful to engineer to understand the biological concept by engineers. Why? Because it's intact with the relevant professionals and provides the solutions. The mathematically, these engineers use sound knowledge. This when they calculate. Yeah. So the clinical, the engineering aspects are the tissue engineering and the medical imaging technologies and yeah, orthopedics means the skeletal structure of the bones and all these containing of the calcium like substance. Biologically, it's a calcium the element, it's workouts a lot of. But at the same time, the calcium like the similar characteristics and withstanding substance, it may generate the cohesive structures and the limbs and all these are the replaced to this one. The rehabilitation engineering is develops. Yeah, so you know about this mechanical engineer is contribute to the orthopedics point of view is a metallurgical knowledge, materials knowledge we have, and electrical engineer, the instrumental is sound knowledge and electronics point of view, medical imaging, processing technology, and civil and environment engineers is especially pollution point of view, is a lot of modelings, animal sustainabilities, the natural sustainabilities and the environmental impacts point of view, lot of models they may generate. Yeah, the nature of engineering is in the problem solving is requires the most background knowledge. When it is possible, some biological fundamentals, he may have some extent of knowledge, then definitely he can care and easily the artificial ones, whatever he may prepared, then definitely it's a good and efficiency of the working. Other than that, of its failure. Once the product is its failure, the engineer is totally the failure. So that is the reason why the engineer is always product based and cost based manufacturing is that is the engineer's challenge. Okay. Yeah, the biology to design approaches several things, the understanding the biological, the phenomena and applications, and identifying the core functional design challenges and looking to the nature to see how the various organisms or ecosystems have achieved function. So the things is in the mind of engineer, understanding the biological phenomena and applications. Yeah, the same point, of course. Yeah, these are all the things. Now, the biologist and engineer, one to another it combines their knowledge and interdisciplinary way of thinking. Then only good achievements can occur. Yeah, you see what's happened in Japan, the 300 kilometers per hour constant bullet train, the fastest train in the world. Of course, now it's a newly one also. Another one is generated. It's the fastest train of. First, what is the fundamental of the um, biological fundamental is it's involved into the bullet train. This much of fast is how can it surmounts, but the rest of area, this much of speed it may pass on. Then the disbursement of the air is uniformly or not. The greater pressure is its religious and the rest of zones it definitely there and the shock waves it creates. And what next? For all these are the things it suppressed through one of the design that is of our kingfisher, the woodpecker, this particular bird, the kingfisher bird. Same. The kingfisher bird is its fly off in the air and next is it swims and also immediately it's enter whenever it needs to or wants to. It may seems one fish is moving fish is there, then immediately all of suddenly it goes inside of the high density water. First thing is it's a fly is a low density of the air and it swims in the peripherally. Next, immediately, fastly it pass on in the high density of the water and catch the fish, moving fish, not only the stable fish. In that way, that particular the beak, this beak, the tip of the beak is in what way it distributes that particular the pressures means the externally containing of the pressures, the humid zones or whatever. The uniformity of this, the way of air is pass on. The next, the back side of the train is it's no problem, not at all any. The problem is not it creates and no risk at all. In this way of the mechanism, the biological, the way of the fundamentally the kingfishers, it moves quickly from the air to means the low density to high density of the water resistance medium. It's medium is change. In that way, this much of fastness of the train is may maintain. Then the beak provides at almost the ideal shape. You see here it is. Yeah, the beak is streamlined and steadily increases the diameter from its tip of the head also. The head is also very slopey. The slopes the head the same phenomena is the mechanism is engineers, Japanese engineers here the implements. Yeah. The next is its termites. Yeah. The termites, we know about the termites is the name. The villages is very, the smallest one is space, but it's in a deep forest, the Malamala forest, the biggest one. The minimum 6 to the 10 meters of height of the termites can create this mud balls through one of the biggest house-like structure. Not in the shape of house, but at the same time it's built gigantic the structures. It's why because it's always whatever their food material, the food stuff, the required food stuff is it's maintained in that much of 87 degrees of Fahrenheit. Then only this fungus can just keep it exactly. Other than that of this temperature is its change, so not at growth. The growth is not at identify. So the same temperature is maintained, but these termites can create a lot of holes, but not at all on the inside and outside. The temperatures, or whatever the changes it may occur, but the inside temperature is always maintained that much of. In what way? Here it is the inlets and outlets is calculating way of the dia of the inlet and dia of the outlet. It's not at opposite directions, but these termites can arrange it like that. It's a lot of mechanism, lot of the engineering way of the mind is maintained. Then it's constantly the openings and closings of the series of the heating and cooling vents it may generate, and carefully adjust and the convenient the currents of the air. It's sucked inside and outside. By outside is lower pressure or else high temperatures, high humidity or whatever. It can maintain of 87 degrees of Fahrenheit. It's maintained. The same phenomena is seen nowadays. The biggest green buildings it generates by engineer. The engineer is this much of the termites in whatever the mechanism is maintained. The inside and outside, the temperatures varies. He can calculate and always the maintain the stable temperatures is in a green buildings wise. Without any ACs or fans are not like that, not used, but at the same time in the building it's the same mechanism even in the olden days is also architect people we may identify at the Rajasthan. At Rajasthan buildings, the smallest windows is there. Each and every window there it is a lot of temperature, but at the same time, to this particular the number of small windows through whatever the air is pass on, but internal side of the interior side of the building is very cool, and also they made up of with lime, the olden era, the lime and the mud is mixed up. But of course, this technology improves. But nowadays, everywhere the green building, the technology is in everywhere. It's possible. Entering of the air and exhausting the air, the suction of the air, is and at the same time, they're drawn from the open space, and at the same time, it exits through open space, and at the same time, the inside of the walls, the same air is pass on. It moves from one to another directions. The conditions of the temperature is not at all the change. The fresh air is replaced to the settled air also. This is the much more mechanism, the engineering. It's synerged that particular termite. The termite can calculate and it's the smallest balls like structures it generates. These balls is put together in a big wall like structure. It's not only one, it's months together. Of course, the next digits of the dolphin fish. Through dolphin fish, the tsunamis can identify these radar systems. So like, about the street dogs and cows and buffaloes, means the buffaloes, all these are cattle. The cattle can identify the earthquakes. Wherever the earthquake is possible, then before the minute, before the 1 hour before onwards, they are vigorously moving and shouting. The cats, cats and the forest elephants, the street dogs, cattle, they can identify. Yeah, in the same mechanism, it's pass on through up to the satelliting way of the tsunami. These people is collect this particular knowledge through the dolphins. Engineer is identify. The dolphin is what way it's identify this particular the tsunami. Yeah, the biggest tsunami is happened, but there it is very few aquatic animals is only very few, but snow way of, but lot of deaths is in the human and other animals. But not in the tsunami, it generates in the sea, but the sea animals and the sea aquatic ones is not a damage. Why? Because this can identify and signalizing one to another, especially this dolphin. It can transmit the data and transfer to the miles of the water and sound waves, while the unique in beings be able to travel the long distances through the water, reverberate and destructively interferes with one to another as they travel, and yeah, compromising to the accuracy of this information. Yes, yeah, no doubt at all. This dolphins can identify and it's much care about this particular. They create some sounds also. Yeah, accordingly, the rest of animals will take care. The dolphins are able to communicate up to 25 kilometers in the water. This particular, if any unruliness may happens, any unwanted situation may happen in the poisonous way. The dolphins is too intelligent. Dolphins are mammals. Dolphin is not a fish. It's not a. Yeah, it gives the birth to the baby, and it supplies the feed as a form of milk. Dolphin is a mammal. All of you remember. Yeah. By employing several frequencies of each the transmission, the dolphins have found the way to cope with the sound scattering behavior of the frequency and the rapid transmission, and they still get to the message to the reliable hard. Yeah, whatever the signifies of the particular identifying to that disaster, it's immediately the dolphins is unique frequency modeling accurates. Yeah, of course, there is a company is Evolgis as a develops as a high performance underwater underwater modem for the data transmission, particularly the Tsunamis point of view. Yeah, which currently is also uses. We are now is employed into that Tsunamis identification point of view. Yeah, this is the technology through dolphins. Yeah. The next, you know well about this lower classes onwards. For example, of the lotus leaf, it's hydrophobic. Whatever the water droplets is not yet wetted, and surface is not yet seep, it's not yet absorbed. Whatever the droplet is, it's drawn out and it goes down. It's not sink. Yeah, it's not match with that particular. Through this technology, the surface area, the designing point of view, the lot of the bricks, roads, and cloths, whatnot before the paints. Before the paints is only metallic paints, but now it's nano paints. Next, these are the paints. It's hydrophobic. It's not a wet. Yeah, this is G3I, the basic lotus effect. In the same way, so many cohesive structures is it through the generates. Even this, the smallest breeze also, not at all, not at possible. So whatever the way, even though it's the petrochemicals may also, it's not at all. Petroleum based one is also not only the polar and the water content. Yeah, all the solutions is not at all. This is the technology. It's in a lotus effect. So through lotus plants, yeah, we're learning so much. This is the mechanism through biologically and engineering applications wise, structures wise, structures generations wise. Yeah, the next is it's in the boxfish. The boxfish is it's always in coral reefs. You know, the coral reefs. I think you may not know about wherever you may went out to the what it is beaches. In the particular the beaches, the rocky beaches, especially this particular coral reefs, we may identify on the surface of the rocks. A lot of calcinated structures. In this coral reefs, this particular boxfish is shape can the way of the coral reefs wise it can changes. The skeletal structure is very strong. The same mechanism is its usage of this particular the vehicles nowadays. Here, the shape of through this one, it's the movement, yeah, and strength wise, it's very strong. The box fish, the mechanism. Yeah, it's majorly applicable into this technological vehicles it generates. Yeah. This is the olden, not just an olden thing, every time we are discussed. Through aviation technology, yeah, is developed by the birds, migrating birds especially. The miles together, days together, months together, day and night and day. These birds can move towards from one continent to another continent. Yeah, for their migrating zones, especially for the breeding purpose, especially with the food purpose of uh, their chicks. They lay down the eggs. First, they generates the nest. After that, they put the eggs, and it is just take care of one or two birds, and the rest of birds is goes to and carry the food, and it's hatched. Whatever they hatch out of the new babies, all the babies, they supplies equally of the food, and some adolescents is may generate. Then immediately the rest of all the birds is went out, and the only chicks is and one or two major leader birds is accompanied with them, and the same new batch, whatever the batch of the new hatched one, all this particular sustained one is return back to their own motherland. This is the biggest um, the heretical phenomena of this particular species of the birds. Yeah, the same mechanism is understanding of this particular the form, the V form, the V formation, the formation of the V. Whatever the way of the birds is just cut off the wind, the density of the wind, and the rest of the back birds can easily it can flies. The first in the tip of the V shape, whatever the bird is, this particular the birds also change the leading one, the tip of the V shaped one. It's the time to time, it's timely it changes. Yeah, we can identify a lot of new also. Yeah, of course, the same mechanism is this implement of our the flight and It's the turbines, movements, and everything, the both sides, the big cylinders like there it is. Sometimes only one turbine is only work out. It may not rotate, then immediately the flight is bend. Then a lot of the technical and technically sound knowledge these pilots they can manage. Yeah, this is the things of course. But anyhow, the birds is equal to say jets and planes. The mechanism it generates towards. Yeah, this is one of the biological phenomena. And the next chimera, I2 chimera, we know well about. Totally our eyeball mechanism, our eyeball sensitive eyes, this particular the retina and the catching of the image catching and the development of the image, everything, and the remembrance, whatnot, everything of this eyeball, the functions is involved in the camera inventions. Yeah. Now it's a lot of camera CGs, of course. Yeah, but anyhow, it is these all are in a sustainable manner and it's perform well and save energy and cut materials cost means here it is the rate, cost cutting is the rate and the redefine eliminates the waste and define of the new product and the categories of the industries that drive perfects. This is the usage of this biological and the way of implementations wherever the engineer may thought. It's a thought-provoking of biological fundamental products it may generate. These are all are the possibilities of the chances. Yeah, first we can eliminate the waste and the cost wise also, but the production cost point of view also, once again, it's think about the production cost is it's high, it's not that good. So we try to reduce the production cost also as an engineer. We are designed to the biological approach. Why? The engineers are going to help to biologists. This is the thing it's involved to identify the core functioning of the design and the challenges, and then looking to the nature to see how the various organisms or ecosystems have achieved that the function. The function is achieved or not. Is it the big challenge of the particular the design. The design is it may succeed or not. It takes time, but once it's the design is it succeed, then definitely a lot of up to the new technology. This one is it's give a lot of profit and at the same time the comfortable way of products can generate. Yeah, this is the thing of regarding of the importance of the engineer biology importance to engineer. Yeah, now it's 54. It is joined. It's good number. Yeah, of course, our class strength is it's 57. 54 is joined. 3 members is absent. In every class, class teacher is it's taken attendance or not? It's automatically. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Sir, it's automatic, sir.
Automatic.
In some classes, ma'am and sir are taking. In elective classes, sir.
Elective classes.
Yes,
Elective
sir. Elective subjects, they are taking attendance.
taking attendance, but in our case, in the last week, but who is that particular three members? Our total class strength is 57. Okay, isn't it? 57 total class strength. Kritika and Kritika 29. Are you present? 47 Pranava, Pravina, who is he? 46. Our class leaders. No. Is it CS6? Today? CS11. Oh, CS11 is it 60. 60 members. Okay. Priyanka, 24. And number 2, Abhilasha, Abhishek. Abhishek, are you present? Abhishek, number 2.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Priyanka is not responding. Okay, Abhishek, our total strength is 60, 66.
No, sir. 58, sir.
58 actually. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anyhow, this 54 is present, including me, it's 55. Okay, almost all attended. Okay, no problem. The next one is our the classification. The classification of biology. Okay, is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the classification of living organisms. Yeah, importance of biology, importance to engineers is one. And the next is the classification of living organisms. The living organisms, so many living organisms, what way we classify? Their habitations wise, their food wise, and their zone of growth wise, and their habitation. Habitation means shelter wise. Yeah, is it aquatic or is it terrestrial? Yeah, it's in the deserts or else it's in a deep forest, the lake. Lot of taxonomical exercise is needful. Then only the classification is possible. Then only it can satisfy. The entire the universe, the same classified, the classification can satisfy. Other than that, of it's a problem. Why? Because territory, continent to continent, there are a lot of diversities. The species is it's vary. The number of species, the billions of millions of billions of species is available. And this entire the kingdom, both in plant and animal kingdom is major kingdoms, and the rest of kingdoms also. But in what way it's classified? Why its importance? What is the significant way it's towards the living things and the living organisms you can classify? Yeah, you see here. Yeah, as a living things are as an constantly the being and investigated new attributes are revealed to the effect of how organisms are placed in a standard classification system. Other than that, it's not at all no use. Just only we see peripherally as morphologically. Oh, this is the shape like. Oh, it may and seems to be as a fish, or it's made seems to be as a the flies like, or it gives them birthday baby as in a, so not like that. The classification is in a standard way of classification in that particular system of any organism, any creature. So that is the reason why the classification is very much important. Why it is taxonomy? The taxonomy, the branch, already introduction classes were learn about this. The taxonomy is nothing but of the classification. The taxonomy, the branch of biology, is concerned with the groups and the naming of the organisms. Yeah, the biologist who is in worked out on the taxonomy is a taxonomist. He is called the taxonomist. He is a biologist, but is a taxonomy working. He's worked on it. This particular the biologist on this, the taxonomy is a taxonomist. Yeah, the groups wise is divides. And how did it start? The people wants to organize their క్లాస్లో ఉన్నాను తర్వాత చేస్తాను ఓకే the people wants to organize the world, so they began. The groups are in a classifying everything they saw. Yeah, the classification, the organizing in a way, the way of the groups, but this particular the groups which is in a the classifying way. The classification is it satisfied or not, other than that of that creature or that particular organism. It's a microorganism or it's a macroorganism or whatever. It's not at all. It comes under of our taxonomical way. Why? Because example, several things. Here it is the things means is organisms that break down as dead materials. Those are in a different classification. Which one is grown on the dead animals, dead materials? Those are in saprophytes. It's called as saprophytes, of course. But at the same time, here it is a things is in organisms that reproduce sexually, sexual and asexual. The sexual reproduction, asexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction means here it is both male and female is participate in the intercourse, and the next the new generations can generate. This is a sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction is it's no male and no female, but it's an automatically in a sexual way. It's no way of the intercourse. Just like the example of the hydra in your lower classes, you know about the budding. Through budding only, it can generate the same species of the next generations. Same species can generate in a sexual way, but it's in a organisms can reproduce sexually, and next these organisms that is in a single cell or multi-cell. Is it in a unicellular or the multicellular? That is another classification point. In a classification point of view, we identify to this one. Here it is things is nothing but of organisms. I said every time. The organisms that have cell walls, it have any cell wall or not. Accordingly, this is the another point is taken in the classification. And the organisms which can eat other organisms, or it's a self-made, self-food preparation. Yeah, this is a living thing. It is in a self-made. Those are all comes under autotrophs. But at the same time, it depends the food. It can eat other organisms. Those are all heterotrophs. One is autotrophs and another one is heterotrophs. That is another way of the classification. And next, the things that have is in a nucleus. The containing of the cell is containing of the nucleus, or nucleus is in absence. That is prokaryotics and eukaryotics. That is the way of the classification. And at the same time, our organisms is multicellular or unicellular. Yeah, the single cell or multiple cells like is in a multicellular or unicellular. The bacteria is in a unicellular. Yeah, the protozoans is in unicellular. Elephant is a multicellular. The biggest body is a multicellular.